Once upon a time, in a small Nigerian village nestled between lush green hills and flowing rivers, there lived a girl named Adaobi. She was known as the mad girl because she behaved strangely and talked to invisible friends. Adaobi's madness began after she witnessed a terrible accident that took the lives of her parents. From that day on, she would wander in the village street, muttering to herself and dancing to tunes only she could hear. The villagers, being superstitious and fearful, shunned Adaobi. They whispered behind her, calling her cursed and blaming her for any misfortune that befell the village. One day, some naughty boys decided to play a cruel prank on Adaobi. They sneaked up on her while she was fetching water from the village well and shouted, "The spirits are coming for you, Adaobi." Startled, Adaobi dropped her water pot and ran, screaming through the village. The villagers laughed at her distress, enjoying the spectacle. But Adaobi's misfortune did not end there. The village chief, a stern man named Chief Okoro, declared that Adaobi was a danger to the village and must be banished to the forest. So, under the cover of darkness, Adaobi was dragged to the edge of the village and left alone in the thick, dark forest. She cried out for help, but no one came to her aid. Alone and afraid, Adaobi wandered deeper into the forest, her mind swelling with confusion and fear. Little did she know that her journey was about to take a magical turn that would change her life forever. As Adaobi wandered deeper into the forest, she stumbled upon the clearing bathed in shimmering moonlight. In the center of the clearing stood a majestic baobab tree, its branches reaching up to the sky like outstretched arms. Curious, Adaobi approached the tree and felt a strong warmth coming out from the trunk. She reached out to touch it, and suddenly the tree began to glow with a soft golden light. Out of the shadows stepped a woman with twinkling eyes and a kind smile. She introduced herself as Mama Ngozi, the guardian spirit of the forest. "Mama Ngozi," Adaobi whispered in awe, "why have you come to me?" The old woman chuckled softly and replied, "Child, I have been watching over you since you lost your parent. It is time to embrace your destiny and discover the magic within you." Adaobi listened intently as Mama Ngozi explained that she was blessed with a special gift, the ability to communicate with the spirit of the forest and harness their power. With Mama Ngozi's guidance, Adaobi began to learn the ways of the forest spirit. She discovered that she could heal wounds with a gentle touch, summon animals to her aid, and even command the elements themselves. Armed with her newfound abilities, Adaobi set out to prove herself to the village who had cast her out. Little did she know that the journey led her to confront dark forces that threatened not only the town but the entire land. With her newfound confidence, Adaobi returned to her village, determined to show everyone the magic within her. But as she approached, she saw smoke rising from the thatched roof and heard cries of distress. Hurrying forward, Adaobi found the village under attack by a band of fierce warriors. The villagers, outnumbered and outmatched, cowered in fear that their homes would be plundered and their crops destroyed. Without hesitation, Adaobi called upon the spirit of the forest for aid. With a wave of her hand, vines sprang from the earth, entangling the warriors and rendering them helpless. But just as victory seemed within reach, a shadow figure emerged from chaos, a powerful sorcerer bent on enslaving the village and harnessing its magic for his dark purposes. Adaobi knew she would need all her strength and courage to defeat the sorcerer and save her village. With determination blazing in her eyes, Adaobi confronted the sorcerer, whose dark magic crackled around him like lightning. He shared at her, dismissing her as a mere child unworthy of his attention. But Adaobi stood her ground, channeling the power of the spirit of the forest. With a flick of her wrist, she unleashed a torrent of light that vanished the shadow around the sorcerer. Enraged, the sorcerer unleashed a barrage of spells, but Adaobi deftly dodged and countered each one. She danced through the chaos, Her movement fluid and graceful as she called upon the elements to her aid. As the battle raged on, Adaobi felt a surge of energy unlike anything she had ever known. With a mighty cry, she unleashed her full power, engulfing the sorcerer in a blinding light. When the light faded, Adaobi stood victorious, the sorcerer defeated at her feet. The villagers cheered and applauded her, their fear and doubt replaced with admiration and gratitude. But Adaobi knew her journey was far over. With the support of her newfound friend and Mama Ngozi, she vowed to protect her and her land from anyone who sought to do them any harm. And so, with her head high and her heart full of courage, Adaobi embarked on her next adventure, ready to face whatever obstacles were in the way. With the sorcerer defeated and the village safe once more, Adaobi was hailed as a hero. The villagers showered her with gratitude, offering her a gift of food and flowers as a token of their appreciation. But Adaobi remained humble, knowing that her true strength came from the spirit of the forest and the wisdom of Mama Ngozi. She thanked the villagers for their kindness and started using her newfound powers to help them rebuild their homes and crops. As days turned into weeks, Adaobi spread far and wide. Travelers came from distant lands to seek her guidance and marvel at her abilities. But despite their attention, Adaobi remained true to herself, never forgetting her roots and the lessons she had learned in the forest. One day, as Adaobi was meditating beneath the baobab tree, Mama Ngozi appeared before her once again. She smiled proudly at Adaobi and said, "You have done well, my child, but the journey is far from over. There are still many challenges ahead, and the fate of the land rests in our hands." With a determined nod, Adaobi rose to her feet, ready to face whatever trials lay ahead. With Mama Ngozi's guidance and the support of the village, she knew she would overcome anything that stood her way. As Adaobi journeyed through the land, she encountered many challenges. She helped villages plagued by drought, healed sick animals, and even thwarted a band of thieves who threatened the poor. Along the way, she made new friends, including a mischievous monkey named Koko and a wise old owl named Olu. Together they traveled from village to village, spreading kindness and hope wherever they went. But as they ventured deeply into the wilderness, they stumbled upon a dark forest, shrouded in shadows. Rumors spoke of an ancient evil lurking within its depths, a creature so fearsome that even the bravest warrior dared not enter. Undeterred, Adaobi knew that she could not turn back now. With Koko chattering excitedly on her shoulder and Olu keeping watch from above, she plunged into the heart of the forest, ready to face whatever lay in wait. Little did she know that the greatest challenges awaited her, hidden among the twisted trees and echoing whisper of the ancient woods. As Adaobi and her friends ventured deeper into the dark forest, the air grew thick with a sense of foreboding. Shadows danced around them, and strange sounds echoed from the undergrowth. Koko clung tightly to Adaobi's shoulder, a small form trembling with fear. Olu hooted softly, his eyes darker for any sign of danger. Adaobi, however, didn't waver. Her determination kept her calm. She knew that whatever lay ahead, she would face it with courage and strength. Suddenly, they heard a low growl emanating from the shadow ahead. Adaobi tensed, readying herself for the battle. But as the growl grew harder, she realized it was not the sound of a fearsome beast, but the whisper of a wounded creature. With cautious steps, Adaobi followed the sound until she stumbled upon a clearing, bathed in moonlight. There lying on the ground was a magnificent lion with fur as black as the night sky. Approaching slowly, Adaobi saw that the lion was wounded, his golden eyes with pain and fear. Without hesitation, she knelt beside him to tend to his injuries, softening him with gentle words and soft touches. As she walked, Adaobi felt a strong connection with the lion, as if they shared a bond that transcended into words. As in that moment, she knew their fate was intertwined. They would face whatever challenges lay ahead. as Adaobi tended to the wounded lion. She sensed a powerful presence watching them from the shadows. With a sudden rustle, a figure emerged, a towering creature with a scale as dark as the night and an eye that glowed with an eerie light. It was the ancient guardian of the forest, a dragon known as Agbala. With a thunderous roar, Agbala declared that Adaobi and her friends had trespassed into his domain and must face his wrath. But Adaobi stood tall, her eyes blazing with determination. She knew she could not let Agbala harm her friends or the forest she loved. So with a defiant shout, she called upon the spirit of the forest to aid her. The ground trembled as the vine erupted from the earth, entwining Agbala and rendering him helpless. With a triumphant grin, Adaobi turned to the lion and whispered words of encouragement. With a mighty roar, the lion leaped into action, pouncing on Agbala and driving him back into the depths of the forest. As the dust settled and the sun rose on a new day, Adaobi and her friends emerged victorious. The villagers cheered and celebrated, grateful for Adaobi's bravery and the peace she had restored to the land. And as for Agbala, well, rumors have it that he's still nursing his wound deep in the heart of the forest, licking his wound and plotting his revenge. But as long as Adaobi is around, the villagers can rest, knowing that their fearless hero will always be there to protect them from whatever danger may come their way.